Okay, welcome to the last of the main 6 Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials. In this tutorial I'm going to go over how to export your video once you edit it, which is one of the most important things, yet is commonly messed up by people who work in Final Cut Pro 10 for whatever reason. And you should know how to properly export it, otherwise you're going to make someone angry. Like me. No. So once you have your clip edited, make sure you have your timeline selected and not some other clip. Go to File, Share, Apple Devices 720p. You can also export to Apple Devices 1080p, which is just higher definition, but it takes longer, and usually we just work in 720p. So, Apple Devices 720p. And you can scrub through to make sure it's the right video. And just hit share. And usually it'll ask you where you want to save it, but if we click on the background tasks, we can see it's sharing, it's exporting somewhere, but it didn't ask us where to save it. And Final Cut Pro by default, it exports files. If you go to your account, you're under Movies, under Final Cut Projects, go to your project and then Render Files, no, Shared Items, and there it is. You can see it's a temporary file because it's still exporting, and there's the percentage right there. And it's finished. I'm just going to close out and go back to Finder, and there's our final video right here. Whoops. Just going to select it and hit spacebar. And actually, because of the way we capture footage, it's not actually 720p, it renders out to 480p, but it's not really a concern. So once we have it in Finder, we can open up another window and go to the design server, Final Cut server, and go to the news playback server, or news playback folder, and I'll just drop it in, and there it is. Sometimes they'll ask for a password, but this time just let me drop it in. And since it's on the Final Cut server, anyone can access it. Anyone who has access to the Final Cut server can access the video files, and this is how we play them back when we play back the news. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you what you're not supposed to do. So with that selected down here, with our project selected, File, Export XML. Don't export as an XML. Some people think it's a video. It's not. It's just a Final Cut Pro file. I'm gonna export it as an XML just to show you, because people always think that when they export as an XML, it's a video file, and it's not. So I'm gonna save it. Oh look, I have a video now. Actually, no I don't. This is not a video. You cannot import this into Final Cut Pro. You can't use it. So basically it's just a file that you can save it to in order to work on it. And there it is. It doesn't work. It's not a video file. So never ever export as an XML. Always export to Apple devices, 720p usually, and I'm just going to cancel. And that's really all you should know for exporting. It's pretty easy. Just make sure you never export as an XML. Just don't do it. It's bad. It's terrible. And that's it for how to export in Final Cut Pro 10. It's pretty simple. Hopefully this series helped you learn how to use Final Cut Pro 10. And if it didn't, I'm sorry.